This Japanese rice bowl is a masterclass in umami, high in protein, and it comes together fast. This could just be your next weekly go-to dinner. Well, I think it's about time we learned how to make. All right, this is a pretty simple dish with only a few ingredients. In Japanese, Oya means parent, which in this case is our chicken, and ko means child, which in this case is our egg. Don refers to the rice bowl. So we have Oyakodon, parent-child rice bowl. Kind of dark and morbid, but hey, it tastes good. I'm deboning 2 skin-on chicken thighs. I like to put a shallow cut into any high points so that it cooks evenly in the pan. I'm adding a little bit of salt. I'll let this hang out in the fridge while I prep everything else. This dish is going to ultimately be simmered in a dashi broth, which is made of kombu, a type of sea kelp, and bonito flakes, which are Japanese smoked and dried fish shavings. But don't worry, it doesn't taste fishy. I promise. I'm going to show you how to make it from scratch, but you could just skip this step entirely and just use the powdered version in some water. In a dish like this, it's basically just as good. All right, so we're gonna start out with 2 cups of water and 1 piece of our kombu. Bring this to a gentle simmer. Once it starts bubbling for a minute or so, kill the heat and then add our bonito flakes. We're just gonna let this sit for about 5 minutes with the heat off. Oh, and I added about a tablespoon of salt behind the scenes. Strain that out, and we're gonna add a few more things. Starting with about 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, 3 tablespoons of mirin, which is a sweet Japanese cooking wine, and 2 tablespoons of sake. Now, if you've ever had tempura shrimp at a Japanese restaurant and wondered what that really good sauce they serve with it that tastes like nothing else you've ever had, that you drink by itself at the end when nobody's looking, this is basically that sauce. Okay, next we're gonna take an onion. I'm splitting it into 2 pieces here. I'm gonna char this in a pan to develop some additional charry and more caramelized notes. But you can skip this step and slice it right away if you're in a hurry. These aren't fully cooked yet. They're gonna finish simmering with everything else in the broth we made. All right, we're gonna stop neglecting our child now. I'm gonna beat 2 eggs, and at this point, we've got all our mise en place, which is a French cooking term for everything in its place. It means we got all our stuff ready to go. AKA, it's time to get cooking. I'm gonna cook this chicken with the skin on to render the fat. I like to get some heavy weight onto my chicken thighs, which really helps with even browning. And I'm using a medium flame here so the fat renders slowly. This is an additional step that I like to do to develop some more complex flavors. Typically, you can just slice the chicken right out the gate without the skin, but we're overachieving today. Look at that nice golden brown skin. I didn't cook it through all the way because we're gonna simmer it in the sauce with the onions. And I'm slicing these into medium-sized pieces, but I'd go a lot thinner if you're skipping this whole skin-on char thing we got going on. Now, in a small pan, go in with our onions and about half the dashi sauce we made. And finally, our chicken. Bring this to a simmer for about 5 minutes or so. And then we're gonna add half our egg to start. And once that sets a bit, we'll add the rest of our egg. and separating it gives some variation in textures. Mitsuba is a Japanese herb similar to parsley or cilantro. And since I don't know where to find it, I'm using a few tender parsley stems for a little peppery and earthy contrast to all the umami. And we'll serve this over some hot, steamed Japanese short grain rice. My buddy got me this ichimi during his trip to Japan, which is a Japanese spicy chili powder for a little kick. And I'll garnish it with some parsley. And we have arrived. We took the scenic route here, but there are a lot of shortcuts available. You could make this dish in 15 minutes if you wanted to. Anyway, let's see how we did. Just what I thought. All right, I'll see you guys later.